Welcome back to session 2. Now for session 2 today, we're going to be covering up Speaking Tutor 1A. For Speaking Tutor 1A today, we're going to be doing a little bit something different. We're going to do 10 habits to make you become a successful student. Okay? But before we go there, let's do a quick lesson review on what we've done so far. Remember what we've done so far in our Speaking Tutor 1A last time? That's right. So in our Speaking Tutor 1A last time, we were doing 8 tips on how to speak English like native speakers. Right? You remember? Correct. So in order to learn to speak English like a native speakers, you need more practice, you need more reading skills, you need to do your research and all this. Okay? So it's very, very important. Right, very good, excellent. So there are 8 tips. Let's review ourselves again. Tip 1, acquire the interest and accent. Tip 2, retain vocabulary using these steps. Tip 3, make the best use of technology. Tip 4, use idioms. Tip 5, fine-tune your pace and clarity. Okay, tip 6, read aloud and gel well and get well with native speakers. Okay, tip 7, get a slang. And tip 8, practice, practice, practice. Okay, so it's very important. If you want to speak like a native speaker, you need to practice a lot in speaking your English, and also do a lot of reading books. And not when I say reading books, not just baby books, okay, or A, B, C. No, you have to read a proper books, like maybe a story books, maybe history books, research. Even if you don't have maybe these kind of books, you can even go on Google and try to find something to read on Google as well. Okay, so it's important. And when you meet with foreigners, try to talk to them, try to speak to them. You don't have to be shy to talk to them. Okay. So that way you learn your English way better. It's okay if you make mistakes when speaking to them. They won't laugh at you. They will correct you. That's important. Okay? Right. Let's move along to our today's class. To today's class, as I said before, we're going to be looking at 10 habits to make you become a successful person. Right. Habit 1 and 2. Okay, I put everything on the same page because it's easier. So we don't have to have a lot of pages. Okay, right, habit 1 and 2. Habit 1, get organized, make a plan for what you're going to do, and when you're doing it, going to do it, and make sure you're always ahead of curve, literally. Okay, number 2, don't multitask. What does it mean, don't multitask? It means that don't do everything at the same time. Do one thing first, and when you finish with one, you do the other one, okay? So it's important that you don't do a multitask work, right? So if you finish with one, you can go on with another one. So get organized and don't multitask, right? Number 3 and 4, divide it up. So what you're trying to do is studying isn't fun to begin with, and forcing yourself through a study marathon will only make it worse. Dividing your work into manageable chunks and rewarding yourself when you finish. Each chunk will make you study more fun, okay, even more, right? So what it means is that you need to divide your work, okay? So don't jumble everything into one go. You need to make sure that, okay, so for today you can make a schedule. Like for example, okay, so for this morning, I'm going to do my English homework for 25 minutes, and I'm going to do my Khmer homework for 25 minutes, okay? So within those 2 subjects, you can divide it up, okay? So with the English, okay, let's do the classwork and then let's do the homework, all right? And also with the Khmer, you can divide maybe 10 minutes for science, 10 minutes for math, 10 minutes for Khmer literature, something like that. Because if you know how to divide your work, it's easier to manage your time, okay? Habit 4, sleep. Now, sleep is very important. Now, don't underestimate the importance of those 8 hours of sleep every night. Getting a good night's rest will sharpen your focus and improving your work memory. Okay, it's very important. Now, a lot of students think, oh, I can go to bed late, teacher. Why go to bed late? What time do you go to sleep? Well, technically, supposedly, the sleeping hours at night that you should be going to bed is the latest is 9:30 p.m. I know a lot of you don't go to bed at 9:30 p.m. A lot of you goes to bed at 11, at 12, because you're too busy on your phone playing games, right? That is not important. You need to get at least 8 hours of sleep every night. Why? Because then when you wake up in the morning, you feel very fresh. You feel, you feel like you remembered everything that happened yesterday at school or in class. Okay, so that's very important to get plenty of sleeps. All right? Habit 5 and 6. Set a schedule. Now, do you work better right after school or after you've eaten dinner? Are you more productive in 90-minute block or half an hour spurts? Find a schedule that works for you and a trick to set. Like I said before, you need to set your time. You need to manage your time. Like I said, set your schedule. Okay, so in the morning, for example, or in the evening, you put yourself like, right, I'm going to do 1 hour and a half of work, of school work. That includes Khmer and English. Okay, maybe half an hour for English and maybe 1 hour for Khmer, because Khmer takes longer. All right, so it's very important that you need to set your schedule correctly. Okay, so sometimes some students, they prefer to do their work right after school when they got home. And most students prefer to do their work after they eaten their dinner, their food in the evening with the family, and then they do their work. Now this way, when you set a schedule, after you set a schedule, you need to stick into it, okay? You need to follow it every day. You can't change it every single time, okay? So let's say today, for example, today, okay, I'm going to do half an hour English and half an hour Khmer. And then tomorrow, oh, I'm going to do 1 hour English, 1 hour Khmer. And then the next day, I'm going to do 10 minutes English, 5 minutes Khmer. You need to stick to your schedule. You need to stick to your timing. It's very important. All right? Habit 6 is to take notes. Taking notes will not only keep you more engaged, okay, during class, but will also help you narrow down what you need to study when exam time rolls around. Okay, so remember when I told you to always take notes into your notebooks, that's what I meant. When it comes to your examination, you have everything prepared before your exam. That's when you take your notebooks out and you are reviewing for your exam. So that's why I keep asking you to please take notes all the time. It's very, very important. Okay, good. Habit number 7 and 8, study. Now, this one might be obvious, but did you know that there's a right and a wrong way to study? Review your material several days ahead of time in small chunks and in different manners. Okay, so for example, write flashcards one day and take practice test the next. In other words, don't cram. What does it mean? When you're trying to study, you cannot put everything on the table and say, okay, I have to do this work today. I have to finish it all. No. You need to know what you're going to be doing. So if you're doing exercises today, tomorrow you may be doing some questions, okay? And the next day you may be doing some written works or an essay or something, okay? So don't try to put all the work into one big pile, because I know a lot of you are doing that. When it comes to the last minute, you decided, okay, I'm going to put everything into the books. That's not how it works, right? So like I said before, in the managing time, so that is part of your managing skills. You need to be able to know how to manage your times, okay? Again, see, in habit 8, manage your study space. Well, try to find a space that maximizes your productivity. Look for a place away from television and other distractions. Okay, so it's very important that you study in a place where it's quiet, okay, peace and quiet, no music, no loud noise, no screaming, no shouting from your little brother or little sister, okay? You need to stay away from technology, right? That way you can study much, much better. A lot of students, I know, when they come to study, they always have their phone in their hands. I don't know why. But then they think, yeah, they're going to pass all the tests. Okay, that is not a problem, but to be able to study better and manage your study space, I suggest that you look for a place that is very quiet. It could be in your bedroom, okay? So you set the study space in your bedroom that it will make you want to just sit there and study, It's very important. All right. Habit 9 and 8. 9 and 10. All right, what you need to do in habit 9 and 10, right? You need to find a study group. What does a study group mean? So basically, sometimes most of the time in Europe, a lot of students, when after school, they go to a study group, something called study group. So maybe they go to one of the friends' house, they get together, and they study together as part of their work. Okay, so it's important that you have a study group, especially before you have your final exams or your test. Okay, so sitting down with a group of people who are learning the same thing as you is a great way to go over confusing class materials or prepare for a big test. That way you can test each other, okay, and reteach the material and make sure that everyone is on the same page. After all, teaching someone else is a better way to learn. Yeah, in Europe, mostly students after they finish the school and before their big test, they go to someone else's house and study there as a big group. So they ask each other to questions, and they pretend like they're teachers and students. So that way, they also not only they learn, but they're also helping each other learn, right? And habit number 10, ask questions. You're in a school to learn, so don't be afraid to do just that. Asking for help from a teacher, a tutor, or your friends is a surefire way to make sure you truly understand the materials. Okay, it's very important, like I said all the times in the video in our class. Please, if you have any question, don't hesitate to ask me. But I know a lot of you never ask anyway. Maybe one or two do ask me questions. Okay? But remember, when you come back to school, you're going to have a lot of things to learn, okay? So very, very important to ask questions when you don't understand. Don't pretend to sit there and understand, okay? Because in real life, when you go to university and you have to touch base with all this English, remember, English is your second language. So it is very important to ask questions when you need, okay? So don't just sit there and pretend you understand, or because you have a technology in your hand and you think you can do it all. But remember, when you are in school, you cannot have all this technology in your hands, okay? So everything must be taken notes, okay? Good. I hope this helps you, and I hope you will become a better student in no time, way before school starts. Take this as a sample. Make sure that you copy all of this down in your notebooks, okay? All right. Thank you, everyone, for participating in our online learning program. Please don't forget to do your homework. Well, technically no more homework yet, and classwork. Then send it to me via personal telegram. And goodbye all, and have a great day ahead. I'll see you tomorrow in our next class. Goodbye. Have a great day. Bye-bye.